the drama. I'm going.
Fine, go.
I will.
Well?
I'm not ready yet.
Number 10, Dull Force, Smile Precure, and Doki Doki Precure. Despite the name change to Glitter Force, this sparkly overhaul failed to shine, nor really step out of the original shadow at all. The dub of the popular Precure series suffered from an excessive amount of unnecessary westernization, from the title all the way to the character names.
Looks like she did it. Yay! What'd she do? Maybe gave him indigestion.
The Japanese influences were completely outshined by empty glitter, and so was anything resembling tension or emotion. Instead, the show is stuffed full of corny jokes and overacting that doesn't come close to capturing the franchise's earnest spirits. It's even worse in the sequel, Doki Doki, which had 19 episodes cut from the dub. And boy, you could tell. A fairy tale this is not.
Special delivery! Here comes a little piece of my heart. You're gonna feel the love.
Number 9, Self-Parody, Duel Masters. This English dub fell into the similar trap card of taking serious artistic liberties with its source material.
All right. Hit it. Huh? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the temple. Here's a medley of my favorites.
Won't you go home, Raccoon? Won't you go home? I'm really sick of you.
Instead of adapting the full story faithfully, the series saw fit to cram in unfunny and mean-spirited jokes about anime tropes. The clear-cut corners in other parts of the localization, like stilted voice acting and disparate scenes obviously coupled together, adding to the idea that the script was making fun of the show instead of celebrating it. It's a shame since there are some chuckle-worthy moments, but the overall lack of respect for the original makes this card hard to lay in any position other than face down.
Shobu, if I showed up now, I'd be undoing years of anime tradition.
Well, anime tradition stinks.
Number 8, Glass Half Empty, Cardcaptor Sakura. When fans say half of this show was lost in translation, they aren't speaking figuratively. The dub saw several heavy changes to better align it with other popular battle anime, focusing on the action-oriented aspects and rebranding the series as just Cardcaptors. But that's not the worst of it. That honor belongs to the inexplicable decision to not air over 30 episodes of the series. For those counting, that's nearly half the show that was dubbed but not broadcast.
Shame this is. I should have brought my camera along with me.
This isn't just censored scenes or rewritten dialogue. These are entire episodes of content that were skipped for no good reason. If their goal was to kill the show by making it impossible to follow, then this was a resounding success.
I'll see you soon.
Number 7, really close cousins, Sailor Moon. Somehow America couldn't even censor this show right.
Maybe we need to get some help.
We can't give in yet. We've got to stay strong, Michelle.
While it was seldom explicitly stated, the S season heavily implied that Michelle and Amara were more than just close friends. But at the time, these lovebirds weren't allowed to fly in other regions. So the dub took the laziest approach possible and shoehorned in extra lines about them being cousins.
Hi. Hey, you two, what's going on? You have a minute?
Not only is it a gross erasure of a groundbreaking same-sex relationship, but the dialogue does little to do away with the frequent innuendos, lingering looks, and physical intimacy. In trying to circumvent controversy, they created a whole new one by suggesting these cousins are much closer than they should be.
But the look in my cousin's eyes was so intense, so full of knowledge greater than I could imagine, that I was even more afraid.
Number 6, the best and worst English dub, Ghost Stories. Full disclosure, many find the Western version of this show to be far superior, but that doesn't mean it's faithful to the original.
Have you accepted Jesus as your personal savior?
No, I'm Jewish.
It shows little to no respect for the Japanese interpretation and completely abandons the straight-faced, spine-tingling chills of its episodic storylines. But for some, it's hard to be too upset about this, when it is, at times, actually pretty hilarious. Not always, though. After the ADR director allegedly lied, saying that the show was a flop in Japan, which it absolutely wasn't, they decided to give themselves complete creative freedom, and the writers went absolutely nuts with the script, even allowing actors to improvise in the booth.
Nice ass. Do not lust in your heart. Jesus, you're right.
This is a tough one because people have always held this dub in high regard, but recent years have shown a changing of attitudes, where some think they should have been more faithful to the source material.
Run! She's a ghost and a bitch!
Number 5. Cringe over cruelty. Devilman The Birth. Akira and Ryo's spat over the fate of humanity is a tale as old as time, but unfortunately, so is poor localization. In this early age English dub, there wasn't quite the same caliber of talent attracted to the medium that there is today.
But you could easily hurt someone.
That's the idea.
Inevitably, that led to some lackluster results. Horrible sound mixing, flat acting, and an unintentionally hilarious script render this iconic story a caricature of its former self. At the very least, there's still plenty of enjoyment if you embrace the so bad it's good quality.
Oh dearie me, I've just kicked the bucket.
But as a comparison to the emotional and captivating original, it's clear this Devilman belongs back in hell.
Is it okay for me to wear my shoes in here?
I don't give a shit.
Number 4. Netflix's lack of love. Neon Genesis Evangelion. The world's leading streaming service redubbing one of the most influential anime of all time should have been as successful as fighting an angel with an Ava unit. Unfortunately, there was some very crucial context scrubbed clean from a certain bath scene. Originally, Kaoru confesses his love for Shinji, which leads to one of the series' most interesting pairings and a downright iconic finale.
This is worth earning my empathy.
Empathy?
I'm saying I love you.
But Netflix removed the word love entirely, even in the subtitles, drastically reframing their whole relationship into something more platonic.
Yes, you're worthy of my grace.
Your grace?
But perhaps the worst thing that Netflix did was remove the iconic ending theme and replace it with something generic. Number 3, 1 + 1 = 1. Beast King Go Lion and Armored Fleet Daruga 15. When Voltron was pitched as the quintessential combining mecha fighter, they meant in-universe robots, not the shows themselves. Instead of merely dubbing an anime, the Voltron creators decided to take their idea's concept to heart and pulled footage from 2 unrelated series to make the franchise we know today. Naturally, the storylines, characters, and themes of the original works are completely unrecognizable.
Sorry, I can't help you from Voltron now.
There's a doctor on planet Ebb.
Get me there fast!
While the footage itself is admirably stitched together, the series' Frankenstein origins still prevent its elements from combining into the perfect mech. To be fair, it is impressive to make an adaptation that wrecks not just 1, but 2 series at the same time. Number 2. The 4Kids dub. One Piece. Even more infamous than the fabled treasure Luffy's after is how notoriously awful this dub is.
We're fighting! Put 'em up! This guy sure is a feather brain.
Reportedly, 4Kids acquired this legendary shonen as a package deal with other series, and failed to screen it in advance. When the show they'd done zero research on somehow didn't meet their standards, they decided to strip it of literally anything identifiable.
You really think your cape
can stop me!
The violence, comedy, and story beats were watered down more than the starboard of a pirate ship. Alongside overly excessive censorship, bland casting, and a truly horrible, or amazing, opening rap, it's just impressive that even a character made of rubber was able to bounce back from this.
One more punch and say goodbye to your friend! I'll pummel his head flatter than the shape of the earth!
Mr. Helmeppo!
Number 1. 3-in-1. Digimon Movies. When Fox requested a blockbuster outing for their popular monster anime, they discovered Digimon didn't have any movies long enough. What it did have was a prequel short, a 40-minute sequel to the first season, and a non-canonical two-parter for the second season. So preposterously, they crammed over 2 hours of footage from 3 unrelated stories into one frenzied 85-minute feature that's barely coherent enough to be called a film.
Wait till we try the cake.
The admittedly stellar soundtrack and clever comedy are let down by unreasonably frantic pacing that cuts everything but mindless fights. Even though it's an adequate guilty pleasure, it fails as an adaptation in every conceivable way.
That's the saddest story I ever heard.
I'm the one with the problem, not you. Get over it.
Okay.
That was fast.
And even years later, the Digi-Rap still haunts our nightmares.
The Digivolution is up and running. Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know what's coming?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.